Hi, this is Jason from Horrific Nightmares. And it's Friday. The perfect time for a Friday Fright Night. Now, this is the segment created by my friend, the Horror Freak 85, where he picks a certain theme and we watch a horror movie based on that theme and do a review. This week's theme is musical madness. Now, the movie I picked is not really an oddball. I thought about doing several others, but this one I'm doing for a particular reason. The movie I picked is the Rocky Horror Picture Show. Now, the Rocky Horror Picture Show is a 1975 film, which runs approximately 100 minutes, if you watch the UK cut, which I did. The US version is 98 minutes, and is directed, and the screenplay was written by Jim Sharman. Now, he was responsible for Shock Treatment, which is the sequel to this, Summer of Secrets, and The Night, the Prowler. Now, this stars Tim Curry as Dr. Frank Furter. He was in Ritual, which was a Tales from the Crypt film, which, to be honest, is probably my least favorite of their films, but it's still okay. He was in Scary Movie 2 and It, where he gave an incredible performance. This also stars Susan Sarandon as Janet Weiss. She was in The Calling, The Lovely Bones, and Bull Durham, which is a favorite of mine. And Barry Bostwick as Brad Majors. He was in Megaforce, which is a cheesy favorite of mine from the 80s. Tales of Halloween. And The Skulls 2. Now, this film was made for $1.2 million, but grossed $139, almost $140 million worldwide. I mean, that's just incredible. A lot of it had to do with probably the weekend showings where everyone would dress up, but still, $140 million. That's just amazing. Now, a couple interesting things about it. This was Tim Curry's first film, and the set builders forgot to put an extra door in the lab set. Dr. Prescott had to crash through the wall to make his entrance. I thought that was pretty cool. Of course, this also stars legend of music, Meatloaf, as Eddie, who had a really fun part in it. Now, I'm not going to go into the synopsis because I'm sure just about everyone has seen this movie. Instead, I'm going to tell you a little story about my history with this film. In the early 90s, very early 90s, 90 or 91, this had first come out on home video. I remember renting it with my band to watch it for the first time because I was always curious about it. A big deal had always been made. I'm not really sure what it was about or anything like that. Needless to say, I lasted 5 minutes, got disgusted with the film, and went and did something else. Probably played music or watched something else on a different television. That was my younger, stubborn self. Didn't really live up to my expectations in 5 minutes, so I pretty much stopped watching it. Fast forward to about 2.5 years ago. I found this copy at a yard sale. Always wanted to give it another try, so I bought it, I think for $1, and there it sat in my collection. Fast forward to about, October 31st, they did a live performance of the Rocky Horror Picture Show on television, which I DVR'd. Same way I DVR'd Grease, and I believe The Sound of Music was one of the other ones. I watched this with my wife probably about 4 months ago because it sat on my DVR for a while, and we didn't have anything to do on a Saturday night, so we watched the Rocky Horror Picture Show, the live performance on television. And it was abysmal. Absolutely abysmal. Sorry for any of you who liked it. Just my opinion, I did not like it at all. Thought it was wretched. And that had pretty much done it for me. I had written this film off, yet it still stayed in my collection, but I probably wasn't going to watch it anytime soon. I'll just put it that way. So, a couple months ago, two friends and I started a stream called the Super Slash Brothers. The other two friends are Bronco Juggalo Talks Movies and the Horror Man. We have this private message group thing going where we discuss things and, what we're going to talk about sometimes. Movies that we've seen. We talk to each other quite a bit. This movie got brought up, and I said that I'd absolutely hated it. Now, this was, or still is, Joe the Horror Man and Bronco Juggalo Brad Talks Movies' favorite films. So we had the idea of us all watching it together on a Sunday live, and they were going to get me to like it no matter what. I said, well, you can give it a try, but I'm pretty sure I won't like it. So, now that brings us to this Friday, where the Horror Freak 85 thought up of the theme for Musical Madness. I could have done Stage Fright. I could have done Repo, the Genetic Opera. But I decided to do this, and I asked the guys if it was okay if I just watched it myself and did it for this review. And they said, sure, whatever. Let me tell you something. I absolutely love this movie now. Like I said, the TV version was absolutely abysmal. I thought I didn't care for it at all. And in my younger, stubborn self, 5 minutes does not make a whole movie. But in watching it in full the other night with my wife, I just kind of fell in love with this movie. So glad I watched it. So glad I'm reviewing it. Thank you to Joe and Brad for getting me to watch it again. Because it was them that had, I went downstairs and I got it and brought it upstairs a while back. We just hadn't set a date to watch it live together. And we still may do that. Who knows? But thank you to them for getting me to give this another try. And thank you to the Horror Freak 85 for coming up with this theme that I can do this. Like I said, I absolutely love this film now, and I'll definitely be checking it out more. So definitely check out the Horror Freak 85 to find out what next week's theme is and see what he reviewed. And if you like what you see in here, hit that like button and subscribe. And until next time, peace.